At the cross, song 29 in your song. At the cross, alas, and did my sin bleed, did myself for God to me.
Service here at Lighthouse Baptist Church. Good to see everyone here today. I'm going to ask Brother David Penny, if you will, please to open our service in prayer.
Heavenly Father, thank you for the day of life you've given us. We have to be here in church, Lord. Thank you for the way you've given us. Lord, I pray that there's someone here this morning, Lord, knowing that there's other person today, Lord, that today they will make that decision to follow you. Love you again, Lord. Thank you for everything you've done in this name.
Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, we'd like to welcome you first-time visitors. As the ushers make their way back to the slip your hand up. Thank you so much for being with us today. Just a few quick announcements. Our evening service will be at 5 o'clock right back here in the main auditorium. And then our midweek service is on Thursday at 7 o'clock. We'll continue on with the question and answers series. Friday, Christmas open house at Pastor's House from 6 to 10. Also, our Reformers Unanimous at 7 o'clock. Saturday morning visitation at 9:45 in the morning. We'll be at B5 and head out and invite folks to church. Next Thursday, December 12th, that will be Christmas at the Keyboard with Danny Thomas. So invite your neighbors or coworkers or friends if they're able to come. That would be a blessing. Thursday, December 12th at 7 p.m. Christmas play December 15th. That'll be the evening service at 5 o'clock. And then Adam Smith's wedding, Saturday, December 21st. And one last announcement, December 15th and 22nd will be our annual Christmas offering. That's the reason for the season. So if you get someone else a bigger Christmas present than Jesus, you're going to be in big trouble.
ahead and stand with me, please, as we sing Amazing Grace, Song 244, your song, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound, and save a wretch like me, Song 244, your songbook. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound, and save a wretch like me. I once was lost,
Amen. Thank you, Darlene. Appreciate that. Thank you for bearing with us during our construction. Hopefully the next week or two we should start seeing things wrapped up and cleaned up and everything. So thank you for bearing with us. Our temporary taped up sound system and all of that. Hopefully we get all the bugs worked out in the new system and get everything working and going well. So we're glad you're here today. A lot of people traveling and a lot of people sick. I'm glad you made it out to church today. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, we'll be reading the first 4 verses. Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus, to the church of the Thessalonians, in God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Grace unto you, and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. We are bound to thank God always for you, brethren, as it is meet, because that your faith groweth exceedingly. The charity of every one of you all toward each other aboundeth, so that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of God for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure. Now the message this morning, how can I join? How can I join? Let's pray. Father, thank you for today. Thank you for your blessings. Lord, you've been so good to us. Pray that you would meet with us now, that you would work in our hearts. Lord, we need you. If you do not meet with us, then we have met in vain. Pray that you would work in hearts as only you can. For those here that have never been born again the Bible way, oh God, I pray that you would work in their lives. Draw them to yourself, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen. What does it take to be a member of a church? How can you join? Who can join? If you're asked around, you could probably get 20 different answers and more to those questions. Some churches don't have membership. No one can join. Some churches you have to go through a 3 or 6 or maybe 10-week membership class. Some churches you might have to sign a creed or sign some kind of covenant. Some churches you might have to make certain commitments. Some churches you might have to get voted in by a board. Some churches you get in by the members. Some churches, they are born again. Being a member of a church does not make you born again. There might be people that are good at pretending. There are people that are maybe self-deceived. Judas was one of the disciples. Now, Jesus knew that he was a quote-unquote wolf in sheep's clothing, but none of the other disciples knew. In fact, they were impressed enough with Judas that they made him the treasurer of the group's finances. In John chapter 12, see at the Last Supper, before the Last Supper, we see that Jesus is going to be anointed right before the crucifixion. John chapter 12, verse 3, there they made him a supper, and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. Then said one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray him, why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? This he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief and had the bag and bear that was put therein. So Judas was the treasurer of the disciples. And the other disciples, as Judas raises this objection, this ointment should have been sold. It would have brought a lot of money, and we could have then taken it and given it to the poor. But he had no intention of giving it to the poor. He was going to keep it for himself. But the other disciples were so swayed by Judas that they started objecting as well. They started following his lead. At the Last Supper, we see again that Judas fit right in as a disciple. In Matthew 26, right before Jesus is to be crucified, as he's having this special time with the disciples, we refer to as the Last Supper, Matthew 26, verse 21. And as they did eat, he, that is Jesus, said, Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. Now Jesus had tried to prepare them for this time coming, if you will, that that he said the Son of Man shall be delivered in the hands of sinners, they shall betray him, and the Son of Man shall be delivered in the hands of the Gentiles. He talked about being crucified and raised it again, but the disciples missed it most of the time. But here they are, this special dinner, and Jesus all of a sudden gives this earth-shaking announcement. It's Jesus with his disciples. So verily I say to you that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceeding sorrowful. Here's the disciples with Jesus. Exceeding sorrowful. And they instantly become very sad. And begin every one of them to say to him, Lord, is it I? So you get the picture. Here's Jesus with his 12 disciples. And in the midst of this meal, he makes this announcement that's earth-shattering. Verily I say to you, that one of you shall betray me. They didn't all turn and say, I knew it. I knew this guy. I didn't trust him from the beginning. It's Judas. I knew it. I knew this guy was up to no good. No, they didn't know who it was. They said, Lord, would I do such a thing? Is it I? And even when Judas, abruptly left the Last Supper, no one suspected him then. All of a sudden, in the middle of the supper, Judas gets up and he leaves to go start working, fulfilling the plot that he had hatched. And it says, the Bible tells us the other disciples thought, well, maybe he's going to distribute something to the poor, or maybe he's going to buy some things that we have need of that Jesus has instructed it. So even when Judas leaves the Last Supper, I knew it was him all along, and there he goes. I knew he was up to no good. Nobody suspected him. When Judas brought the soldiers, he was still playing the part, the hypocritical part of being the good disciple. You fast forward to the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus is praying. In Matthew 26 and verse 47, while he yet spake, Jesus is talking to his disciples. While he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and elders of the people.